Shabbat shalom to everybody. It's good to be here once again, representing Hebrews in exile, Yahweh's exiled empire. Hallelujah. I will wholeheartedly give thanks to Yahweh in the counsel of the upright. And in the assembly, the deeds of Yahweh are great. Father, Most High El, we give you praise. We give you thanks for everything that you have done and are doing for us in this exile. We thank you for giving us strength of mind, body, soul, and spirit. You've imparted it into us, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Helped us to gravitate to your great Torah. Open up in our understanding as to exactly what it is, that we might walk in it every day and walk in your ways and be pleasing to you. We ask you today on this Shabbat day that your Ruach, your set-apart spirit, come into this place where we are congregated. Let it set upon the worship leader. Let it set upon the teacher. Let it set upon each and every last one of us. And those who are watching by way of the stream, let your set-apart spirit bless them, soul and spirit. We thank you for your healing portion. Thank you for providing healing to us. We give you praise in all things. We say, Amen.
You are holy, Yahweh, you are holy. You are holy, Yahweh, you are holy. You are the giver of my life. You're the giver of my soul. You're the giver of all things to come. You are holy, Yahweh, you are holy. You are holy, Yahweh, you are holy. For you are the giver of my life. You're the giver of my soul. You're the giver of all things to come. You are faithful, Yahweh, you are faithful. You are faithful, Yahweh, you are faithful. Hey, 'cause you are the giver of life. You're the giver of my soul. You're the giver of all things to come. You're the giver of all things. You're the giver of all things. You're the giver of all things to come. You are an awesome wonder. You are the Word. You are an awesome wonder. You are the Word. You are an awesome wonder. You are the Word. You are an awesome wonder. You are the Word. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, hey, hey, yeah. Yeah, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. You are an awesome wonder. You are the Word. You are an awesome wonder, yeah. You are the one. You are an awesome wonder. You are the one. You are an awesome wonder. You are the one. You are an awesome wonder. You are the Word. You are an awesome wonder. You are the Word. You are able. Yahweh, you're able. You are able. Yahweh, you're able. For you are the giver of my life. You're the giver of my soul. You're the giver of all things. You're the giver of all things. You're the giver of all things to come. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. For this is the day Yahweh has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. And for those who are watching by stream or by YouTube, may Yahweh bring you peace, joy, and happiness on this beautiful day. For it's our responsibility, it has been told to us, that we are to gather in a holy convocation on this day. And I say shalom to you. Toda Rabba, Toda Rabba, you're everything to me. Toda roba. Toda roba. Toda roba. You're everything to me. You're all that I need. Toda roba. Toda roba. Toda roba. Toda roba. You're everything to me. You're all that I need. Toda roba. Toda roba. I give you thanks because you're beautiful. I give you thanks because you are kind. I give you thanks because you are amazing. I give you thanks because you are mine. I give you thanks because you're beautiful. I give you thanks because you are kind. I give you thanks because you are amazing. I give you thanks because you are kind. Toda roba. Toda roba. You're everything to me. You're all that I need. Toda roba. Hey! Toda roba. Here we go, here we go. I give you thanks because you're beautiful. I give you thanks because you are kind. I give you thanks because you are amazing. I give you thanks because you are mine. I give you thanks because you're beautiful. Hey, I give you thanks because you are kind. I give you thanks because you are amazing. I give you thanks because you are mine. You are beautiful. You are kind. You are amazing. You are mine. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're amazing. 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 Is he not amazing? He is beautiful, and I thank him on this Shabbat. Well, we're going to have a little fun on this last song. I sing this song a lot because I like it. I do. I come to you with hands up raised. I come to you. I bow before your feet. I come to you. You roll every need. I come to you. I come to you with hands up raised. I come to you. I bow before your feet. I come to you. You roll every need. I come to you. Here we go. River living water that flows through life through me. You're the all-consuming fire. You're the air that I breathe. You are beauty for ashes, the essence of all things. I come to you. Here we go. I come to you. Hands up raised, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You all ever need, I come to you. Here we go, verse 1. River of living water that flows in life to me. You're the all-consuming fire. You're the air that I breathe. You are beauty for ashes, the essence of all things. I come to you. Here we go. I come to you. With hands up raised, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all I ever need, I come. Come on, our soul. My soul says yeah. My soul says yeah. My soul says yeah. Yeah. My soul says yeah. soul says yes. Hey, I come to you. With the hands of praise, I come to you. For your feet, I come to you. You're all ever need, I come to you. I come to you. With the hands of praise, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all ever need, I come to you. Come on, my soul. My soul said yeah. 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 Yeah. My soul said yeah. My soul said yeah. My soul said yeah. River of living water that flows through life to me. With the all-consuming fire in the air that I breathe. You are beauty for ashes, the essence of all things. I come to you. 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 Good to be here with you all. Yahweh is good. He's gracious and kind to us. And it's a wonderful day. Some places the weather is not being kind today. But for us, it's only going to be in the 90s. A little wind from the north, or the east or the west, or from whichever way it's coming. I am so happy to see all of you. I really am. I am delighted. We happen to be living in a time that is very, very tumultuous. And every day is filled with uncertainty. However, those of us who are connected to the Most High have nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. I don't know if I said this last week. I didn't teach last week, so I probably didn't. But I'm going to ask you all to do something. I'm not political, but I'm going to ask you to do something because it's important for our people. Our people are at the forefront of a very dangerous situation. The Attorney General in Atlanta is in a very dangerous place. She's strong. She's going to do what she needs to do. But we need to pray for her protection, her family. Not just now, but until the end of their days. People are being threatened.
talking about I'm going to kill you. The federal judge in Washington, D.C. that's overseeing the other trial is being threatened. And the problem with it is that it's one thing to just have to deal with one person, but when you have to deal with a mob and you don't know from whence it's coming, we need to pray for them. We've lost enough of our sons and our daughters and our leaders. Doesn't matter whether or not they're Hebrew or not. It's not the point. They are part of Hebrew Israel, even if they don't know it. All that being said, I don't mind that times become strained, different, difficult. I don't mind that. Because the harder it gets for our people, history says that they will cry out to the Most High. Our scriptures record that Israel, when they were oppressed by the nations, Philistines, the Syrians, to the point where it was more than they could handle. It's going to get that way here in America. It's going to get to the point where it's more than, I'm going to say it in this context so you don't get it twisted. It's going to be more than us black folks can handle. And in your churches and wherever you assemble, there's going to be a cry. And that cry is going to be turning back to the Most High, El, the Yahweh, the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. So, while we're praying for our leaders, Hebrew Israel in this exile is still under assault. But those of you who walk in his ways are going to be protected from the assault of the enemy. The Most High says in our text, they copied it into their text, but it says in, did I just go? That they that call upon the name of Yahweh from the various situations that are going to perplex the world. But you have to know which name to call upon, because in the European-inspired Bibles, it says they that call upon the name of the Lord, and you're calling upon Jesus. That's not the one. I'm not the one. When trials and tribulations come to the point where we can't bear them anymore, they that call upon the name of Yahweh will be delivered. All right, let's go through some things here. Today we're going to teach, and I'm going to take my time through this because the textual matter is very important. We're going to talk about hell, the devil, and HaSatan. That's what we're going to talk about. This is First Tabernacle Fellowship. This is Yahweh's Exiled Empire. Yahweh's Exiled Empire can be seen every Sabbath day and Saturday on the Shabbat here in the city of Sacramento and all the points moving north, east, south, and west. Saturday at 5 p.m. and Saturday at 8 p.m. on Sacramento TV, Comcast Channel 20, Consolidated Channel 19, and AT&T on channel number 14. Also, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time to our stream, you can subscribe to our podcast, Hebrews in Exile, on Podbean or wherever you get your podcasts. If you're enjoying and receiving information that's important to your thought process, you can also donate to our PayPal account at First Tabernacle Fellowship by copying the QR code on the screen to make a donation to First Tabernacle Fellowship. We'd be so appreciative. It costs us money to do what we do, and you can be a part of helping to make that happen. Well, let's get to it. Come on. Hell, the devil, and HaSatan. The religious world is enamored with the idea of the thought of hell and the devil. And the question on the mind is there a hell? Is there a devil? Is there a Satan? In light of the terms of where you and I have come from, where we have been and where we've spent our life in the religious circle, these three things have been at the fore. Christians, a lot of them, want to be saved so that they don't go to hell. They don't want to be in fire and brimstone. Isn't that interesting? I heard a gentleman say the other day, he was trying to explain the last days according to Scripture. You know, Jesus said in the last day that it was going to be like it was in the days of Noah. And in the days of Noah, you know, they had a lot of sexual stuff and all that stuff. And here we are. No. The last days are defined by Daniel. Daniel defines the last days. But in my thought process, and as I realized what happened in the days of Noah, those folks they didn't make any kind of concession to the Most High at all. And when it became too much for them to handle in the deluge, then they wanted to be saved. But in their wanting to be saved, they didn't want to turn back to the Most High. They just didn't want to drown. That's the way it's going to be in the end of days. People are going to be crying out to be saved because they don't want to go to hell. So, as I begin today to unravel this subject, please take notes, as the points that I'm going to make are going to be critical. This mic keeps bouncing out. Huh? Excuse me for just a minute. It's snug. Okay. And I'm going to make some critical things and say some critical things to your understanding and ability to explain these matters of hell and Satan, because people are going to be kind of wanting to know, why don't you believe in hell? Why don't you believe in the devil? You know what? No, you know what? You know what? It's real interesting to me that people who don't want to be us but watch us become critical of what we say and try to go to the Bible to kind of disclaim what we're doing. All of a sudden they become theologians. It amazes me. So I'm going to take this slow, and I may have to do this in two parts for the sake of comprehension. So let's go. Let's talk about creation. And we'll go to text. In the book of Bereshit, which is Genesis chapter 2, verse 1, it reads, "Thus the heavens and the earth were finished along with everything in them. On the seventh day, Aa was finished with his work which he had made. So he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made." Now, if we read the pretext, we go right back to Genesis chapter 1 and read down to chapter 2 at this point, everything that the Most High has created has been stated. Say it again. Everything the Most High has created has been stated. So, where in the preceding text was there any mention of him creating a place called hell or Gehenna or Hades? Where? Did he somehow forget and leave it to the nation of Greece to create it? Remember, Yeshayahu chapter 40 verse 15 says, Iyeh said, nations were a drop in the bucket, they count like a grain of dust on the scales. So they don't mean anything to him. So you mean to tell me that he left it up to these people to create hell? Because that's the only place you're going to find it. You're not going to find hell written in any of our Hebraic writings. None. They're not in the auxiliary books. They're not in the canonized books. So there is, dear ones, no hell. Hell is a construct of the Greeks to go along with the rest of their Greek mythology. Bereshit chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more crafty than any wild animal. I underline that. I want you to see that. The serpent was more crafty than any wild animal which Yahweh had made. He said to the woman, did Yah really say, you are not to eat from any tree in the garden? Okay? What is a serpent? What is a serpent? A wild animal. The text doesn't say it's the devil. It says it's a wild animal. Here we see the serpent walking and talking to the woman, slandering Exiled. The serpent is not a red-horned whatever, nor does he come from a place that does not exist, hell. It is simply something from the livestock or the wild animals. So stop spiritualizing things that you can't explain. The text is clear. What that is, it is a talking animal. A talking animal. In the days of creation, animals could communicate and talk with people. Let's put that and bring that forward so you can kind of understand what I'm saying. Animals could talk to people, and today, listen to me, today animals can understand what you are saying to them. Got a dog? Got a dog? How come it is when you give the dog a name and you call the dog perks up and he comes? Why is it that the dog has emotions and feelings that when he loves you so much and you have been gone all day long, the dog comes to you and he makes and you talk to the dog and the dog understands what you're saying? Because back in the beginning of time, animals could communicate with men. So let's look at the text again. The text says, now the serpent was more crafty than any wild animal. Bereshit chapter 3, verse 14 and 15. Yahweh said to the serpent, because you have done this, you are cursed more than all livestock and wild animals. You will crawl on your belly and eat dust as long as you live. What does the text say? You are more cursed than all livestock and wild animals. The serpent, the wild animals, the livestock that he's cursed from, did not turn into a devil. If he was going to turn into a devil, the Most High would have said so. The Most High does not have a devil. He created all things. There is no text where he said he created a devil. None. None. Nowhere. We do not have any description or picture of what the serpent looked like, since he called it from the livestock and wild animals. It couldn't be an alligator because that's a reptile. If it was a serpent, snake, then it had the ability to walk on 2 feet or on all fours and talk. However, text does not associate it with the livestock and the wild animals. He tells us that it had 4 legs, talking about the reptile now. It is from that state of existence it was reduced crawling on its belly. Let's be sure that the text refers to it as an animal that could talk. There is absolutely no reference to it being the devil or HaSatan. To do so breaks the golden rule of Devarim, chapter number 13, which says, "You shall not add to, nor shall you take away from whatever it is I am saying to you." Adding and subtracting from, and thereby spiritualizing the text. So is our answer to this question of the devil, what is it? Our answer by text is no, there is no devil. But let's get a preliminary understanding also of what HaSatan is. The word Satan, meaning Satan, means accuser, with the added nuance of either adversary or slanderer, depending on the context. So by text, this animal acted in the role of a Satan. You can call this a spirit that resides inside whatever is producing the action, being a slanderer or an adversary. Slandering what Yah said, being adversarial. And as we look at this particular meaning, we'll come back to it as we continue to flow through this particular text and understanding. Now, the Most High said to the serpent, the wild animal, from the flock, from the herd, he said, "I will put animosity between you and the woman, and between your descendants and her descendants. He will bruise your head, and you will bruise his heel." What's he talking about? We understand now that this Satan or this devil can be anything. It can be, in this particular case, it was a serpent. And as we continue our study, we're going to find out that it can be any person or anything. I will put animosity between you. The "you" in the text represents every antagonistic nation or person who opposes what Yahweh spoke or intended. In this case, the woman happens to be Israel. So it is that this HaSatan imagery is any nation or person that opposes the woman Hebrew Israel. The text supports the fact that Hebrew Israel would always reign supreme against any form of slander or aggression by whomever. And when righteousness is with them, he will help, with the help of Yahweh, destroy anything or body and nation that opposes Hebrew Israel. Now, let's deal with the devil. Yeshayahu chapter number 14, and as we read this, we're going to have to go to majority of the text of this particular chapter, but let's jump in here. Yeshayahu, Isaiah chapter 14 says, "How did you come to fall from the heavens, morning star, son of the dawn? How did you come to be cut to the ground, conqueror of the nations? You thought to yourself, I will scale the heavens, and I will raise my throne above El's stars, and I will sit on the mount of the assembly, far away in the north." Put a pin in the north. "I will rise past the tops of the clouds, and I will make myself like the Most High." This is the text from which Christianity and all religions get the idea that Isaiah chapter 14 is talking about the devil. It's not. We're going to show you that it's not. In order to understand the disclaimer that this text is talking about the devil or HaSatan, as has been taught by the Eurocentric commentators and passed on to the religious order to start, we have to start at the top of this chapter and read the pretext. And as we read this text, remember the king of Babel is also the king of Assyria, who declared himself to be the king of all the earth when we studied the book of Judah. So the text that we're going to read is about the king of Babel and not spiritualized devil as the European commentators have so interestingly taught us. Let's get it. Let's read. This is the vision of Yeshayahu, the son of Amatz, which he saw concerning Yehudah and Jerusalem during the days of Uzziah, Utan, Akaz, Yizkiyahu, the kings of Yehudah. Hear, heaven, listen, earth, for Yahweh is speaking. I raised and brought up children, but they rebelled against me. An ox knows its owner, and a donkey its master's stall. But Israel does not know. My people do not reflect. Oh, sinful nation, a people weighed down by iniquity, descendants of evildoers, immoral children. They have abandoned Yahweh and spurned the Holy One of Israel and turned their backs on him. That's where we are today within that context. Where should I strike you next? You are persistent in rebelling. The whole head is sick, the whole heart diseased. From the sole of the foot to the head, there is nothing healthy, only wounds, bruises, festering sores that have been dressed and bandaged or softened up with oil. Your land is desolate. Your cities are burned to the ground. Foreigners devour your land in your presence. It's as desolate as if overwhelmed by floods. What's he talking about? He's talking about Jerusalem. That's our land. The daughter of Zion is left like a shack in a vineyard, like a shed in a cucumber field, like a city under siege. Yahweh Sabaoth had not left us a tiny, tiny remnant. If Yahweh Sabaoth had not left us a tiny, tiny remnant, we would have become like Sodom and we would have resembled Amorah. What are we looking at? The fact is that even in this exile, we are a remnant of the nation of Hebrew Israel. Hear what Yahweh says, you ruler of Sodom. Listen to Yahweh's Torah, you people of Amorah. Why are all those sacrifices offered to me? Asked Yahweh. Am I reading? I'm not reading 14. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. Done all that reading for nothing. How do we get? I want Isaiah. Excuse me. Back all that out. Chapter 14, verse 1. Oh, that. Okay. Isaiah, come on. Excuse me. Chapter 14, verse 1. I thought something didn't sound right. I'm reading down and I'm not getting where I want to get. This is we go. Oh my goodness. Excuse me for giving you the wrong text. Yeshayahu chapter 14, verse number 1. We're going to read a minute. I used up my time reading the wrong thing. Let's get up. For Yahweh will have compassion on Yaakov. He will once again choose Israel and resettle them in their own land, where foreigners will join them, attaching themselves to the house of Yaakov. Peoples will take and escort them to their homeland, and the house of Israel will possess them in the land of Yahweh as male and female slaves. What's going to happen? Foreigners will join us, attaching themselves to us to the house, and they will take us and escort us to our land. They will take their captive, rule over their oppressors. He gives us rest from all our suffering and trouble, and from the hard service imposed on you. You will take up this taunt song against the king of Babel. The king of Babel is the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar. At last, the oppressor is stilled. His arrogance is ended. Yahweh has broken the staff of the wicked, the scepter of the rulers, which fiercely struck down peoples with unceasing blows, angrily beating down nations with relentless persecution. Talking about the king of Babel. The whole earth is at rest and quiet. They break into song. The cypress rejoice over you with the cedars of Lebanon. Now that you are laid low, no one comes to cut us down. Talking about the king of Babel. Sheol. Sheol. Sheol is not hell. Sheol is not hell. Sheol is the abode of the dead. Dead righteous, dead wicked, dead anything that breathes and looks like a human being. Sheol is where the soul resides. So you say over there in Isaiah 54, I think it is, Sheol has enlarged itself. That's not hell. Sheol has enlarged itself because it's going to have to hold a whole volume of wicked people along with the righteous. That's why it's enlarged itself. It's enlarged itself because when the final redemption time comes, only the righteous are going to revivify it out of the book of, as the book of Daniel says, and the wicked will remain in the state of Sheol to face their final destination, which is not hell. You go, oh, well, if I'm not going to hell, then doggone it, what the heck? Why am I going through this? I can just do what I want to do. I can be what I want to be. I'm not going to hell. I'm not scared anymore. Sheol below is stirred up to meet you. Who? The king of Babel, not the devil. When you come, it awakens for you the ghosts of the dead who were leaders on earth. It makes all the kings of the nations arise from their thrones. They all greet you with these words. Who are they greeting with these words? The devil? The devil wouldn't care about the words. No, they're going to meet the king of Babel, King Nebuchadnezzar. Now, you are as weak as we are. You have become like us. Your pride has been brought down to Sheol with the music of your lyres. Under you, a mattress of maggots. Over you, a blanket of worms. How, see, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. That's where the Christians get the devil. What's the text say? How did you come to fall from the heavens, morning star, son of the dawn? How did you come to be cut to the ground, conqueror of nations? Now, let's pause here for a minute. One of the things that the Most High did and has always done, because of Israel's position of abandoning his laws, his rules, and his regulations, he called and assigned nations to come against Israel to oppress them. He called Nebuchadnezzar to oppress Israel. He called the Assyrians to oppress Israel because Israel had abandoned him. In one way, in the natural, we can look at this as a spanking. So he gave them a spanking to try to wake them up. Nebuchadnezzar was called by the Most High, so how did you come to fall from the heavens, you morning star? He was a morning star, and he was a son of the dawn because the Most High called him to be so. You thought to yourself, I will scale the heavens, I will raise my throne above El stars, and I will sit on the mount of assembly far away in the north. Now remember I told you to put a pin in the north? Well, Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar comes from the north. That's where he resides. That's where the nation of Babylon resides, is in the north. I will rise past the tops of the clouds and make myself like the Most High. Now you remember when Ambassador Appleton taught us in Yehudi that Nebuchadnezzar was also the king of Assyria. And in that text, he proposed himself to be the king of the earth and the ruler of all things. Therefore, we have him here making himself trying to be like the Most High. Instead, you are brought down to Sheol, to the uttermost depths of the pit. Those who see you will stare at you, reflecting on what has become of you. Is this the man who shook the earth? Now, look at the text. What does the text say? It says, is this the devil who shook the earth? Or does it say, is this the man who shook the earth? Who made kings tremble, who made the world a desert, who destroyed its cities, who would not set his prisoners free. All other kings of the nation, all of them lie in glory, each in his tomb. But you, I don't want that. But you are discarded, unburied, like a loathed branch, clothed like the slain who were pierced by the sword, then fall to the stones inside a pit, like a corpse to be trampled underfoot. You will not be joined with those kings in the grave, because you destroyed your own land, and you have brought death to your own people. The descendants of evildoers will utterly be forgotten. I'm going to stop the reading there. Now, in anything that we've read, is there any indication in Isaiah chapter 14 that this is talking about the devil? Not at all. He even tells you it's a man. Now, what you have to do is you have to go back, if you're going to be a student and hold on to this claim, you got to study Nebuchadnezzar. You got to study what he did and how he functioned. He was a detriment to Hebrew Israel. So, not only was he a detriment, but like the Assyrians, from which the Most High was very angry, he came and he did things that the Most High did not want him to do. He and the Assyrians, especially with Israel, they went beyond the point of being just an oppressor to being a murderer and being a very, very, very harsh oppressor of Israel. When you read the book of Ezekiel, Ezekiel lets you know and goes through all of the nations that came against Israel, that the Most High in the end of days said, I am going to bring judgment up on you. So, we know that in Bereshit chapter 3, in chapter 2, the serpent is not the devil. We know now that in Isaiah 14, that Isaiah 14 is not talking about the devil or Satan. Now we're going to have to take some time to explain HaSatan, Satan, in text. How do we explain him? Well, as I begin to deal with this, my source subject comes from the Anchor Bible Dictionary, Volume 6. It makes perfect sense in its explanation on this particular subject. So let's explore these texts to understand. There is little doubt that the noun Satan is related to the verb Satan, and the verb occurs 6 times in text. Psalms 38, 20, 21, Psalms 71, 13, Psalms 109, verse 4, verse 20, verse 29, and also in Zechariah chapter number 3. We're going to go through them. The heliums, Psalms 31, 20 and 1. Listen to the verbiage. My enemies are alive and well. Those who wrongfully hate me increase their numbers. And since they repay good with evil, they oppose me because I pursue good. Now, we've given you a precursor of what HaSatan means in text: slanderer, accuser, adversary. So when we see the word oppose, can be also rendered those who repay me good with evil, accuse or slander me when I seek good. It can be written the same way. So we have that word oppose in text. Now, the question on the table is, who's opposing the king? Who? My enemies. So are my enemies the devil? Are my enemies HaSatan? Satan? Yes, they are Satan. My enemies are Satan, which means that the enemies that are opposing him happen to be human beings that walk on 2 feet and breathe. Psalms 71:13. May those who are opposed to me be put to shame and ruin. May those who seek to harm me be covered with scorn and disgrace. This text may also be read, may my accusers or adversaries or slanderers perish. Can be read the same way. That word oppose. Psalms 109, 4, verse 20 and 29. In return for my love, they became my accusers, even though I prayed for them. This is what my adversaries want Yahweh to do, those who speak evil against me. Let my adversaries be clothed with confusion. Let them wear their own shame like a robe. Similarly, in Psalms 109, verse 4, verse 20 and 29, the writer speaks to YAHWEH about his accusers, slanderers, and the duress that they have brought into his life. Does the language sound like some deviant spirit in the dark world called to be devil or HaSatan? All of this text that we've just read happens to be human individuals who apply to their lives the idea of being a Satan. Rest assured, there are evil and righteous spirits that reside in the world. Both reside in man, and as man is created with a corporal ability to choose which path he desires to traverse, he has within him the ability to do that which is right and do that which is wrong. Now, the interesting fact that we've got here as we talk about this is that, and as we move on with the subject, knowing now that a Satan or a Satan can be an individual, it can also be a nation. Oh, you Christians aren't going to like me now. You ain't going to like me now. You're not going to like me now. Oh, I got a pain. Oh, the devil is a liar. Not the devil. Oh, the devil is a liar. Something happened. No, the devil didn't do that to you. Why are you sick? You're sick because you have traversed this land, and you haven't taken care of your body. You haven't eaten right. You've done things to harm the temple. That wasn't the devil. That was you. What makes you think that when you do things that are good, that's you? But when you do things that are bad, or something bad happens to you, that's the devil. No, you have within you the conscious ability to do that which is right and do that which is wrong. The Most High made us corporal individuals to be able to choose right or wrong. There's no devil out there. Oh, the devil made. No, the devil didn't make you do that. That came up out of the wickedness of your own conscience and your own mind. What you should have noticed is that all of these actions of text presented in light of these three words expressly allude to the actions of a person, with the exception of the text of Zechariah, which we're going to get to. Remember, I said, put a pin in that particular text. As we get to it, did I get to it or did I pass it? Let's see where I'm at. Right there, I passed it. Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 3, verse 1. He showed me Yahshua, the Kohen named Hakkadoh, standing before the angel of Yahweh with the accuser, notice it's in brackets, Hebrew, HaSatan, standing at his right to accuse him. Yahweh said to the accuser, "May Yahweh rebuke you, accuser. Indeed, may Yahweh, who has made Jerusalem his choice, rebuke you. Isn't this man a burning stick snatched from the fire?" Here, the prophet sees Satan standing at the right hand of Yahushua, the high priest, to slander or accuse him. Now, once again, put a pin in this text. What we can see in these 6 texts uses the words accuse, slander, and being an adversary. Therefore, any one of us in here can be a Satan. If you slander or accuse somebody wrongfully, you're acting in the way of a Satan. That is the spirit that you are producing. Not the devil. You, me. The problem arises when we attempt to select the best English equipment for Hebrew Satan, especially since Satan lacks a cognate. What's a cognate? That being of the same or similar nature, generically alike, is not in any of the Semitic languages. The choice appears between accuse, slander, and being an adversary. So, what should we have noticed is that all of the actions of the text presented, in light of these 3 words, express allude to the actions of a person, with the exception of the text here in Zechariah. Okay? It is clear from the 6 passages cited above, before, and from especially the 5 from the Psalms, that the enemies of the writers are defaming his character, thus they are slanderers. Therefore, being a human person acting like a Satan, what they are saying about the writer is probably false, therefore their mouths must be shut. Well, now, if their mouths must be shut, whose mouths are we shutting? The devil's? The devil is a liar. No, yeah, he is, because it's you. It's you. So now if you say to somebody, now watch this now, this will work for you. If somebody comes to you in a false way, you know some people are bold. And they're looking, oh, the devil is a liar. They're saying you are a liar. Ain't the devil? They've got it in proper context. You are a liar. It ain't so. So, their mouths must be shut one way or another. But does this suggest that the noun Satan should always be translated as slanderer? Not necessarily so. There are some instances where Satan engages in activities that are patently slanderous. For example, in the book of Job. As we get to the book of Job, there is a good deal of overlap in meaning between accuse and slander, but they are not synonymous. To accuse means to find fault and bring charges, falsely or accurately, against another. Thus, an accusation may be valid or inaccurate. By contrast, however, slander is always false, a statement of claim that is both inaccurate and damaging to the character and reputation of another. As previously stated, there are some instances where Satan engages in activities that are patently slanderous, for example, in the book of Job. Job chapter 1. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job. This man was blameless and upright. He feared El and shunned evil. Let me see here. Let me go back. Let me stay here for a minute. In chapter, we're going to go here in a minute. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. In Yasher, chapter number 22 and verse 54, Yahweh said to HaSatan, the accuser, the adversary, have you thus considered my servant Abraham? For there is none like him, upon the earth a perfect and upright man before me, one that fears Yah and avoids evil. Why do I post this? Why do I bring this up? Because our text says in Job, there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. This man was blameless, upright, and feared El and shunned evil. Now, as we talk about Job, if you don't know, Job is one of the oldest books in text, and it precedes everything that we have read in the beginning. It precedes Bereshit. So consequently, there's going to be a parallel between Job and Abraham, but Job is the first individual who's declared to be one who was blameless and a righteous man in the land. Verse number 8. Yahweh asked the adversary, did you notice my servant Job, that there's no one like him on earth, a blameless and upright man who fears Yah and shuns evil? Now, I could not put up the rest of this particular text in my writing, so we're going to go to, come on, Kindle. Thank you. So we're going to go to, and I'm going to read it to you from the Apocrypha book in chapter number 22, verse 54. It's long reading. I got 3 minutes to do it. And the day arrived when the sons of El came and placed themselves before Yah. The sons of El are the angels. And HaSatan also came with the sons of El before Yah. And Yah said to Satan, where do you come from? He answered Yah and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And Yahweh said to Satan, what is your word to me concerning all the children of the earth? Put a pin in that. And HaSatan answered Yah and said, I have seen all the children of the earth who serve you, and remembering you, when they require anything from you, and when you give them the thing which they require from you, they sit at their ease and forsake you, and they remember you no more. Have you seen Abraham, the son of Terah, who at first had no children, and served you and erected altars to you wherever he came? And he brought up offerings upon them. And he proclaimed your name continually to all the children of the earth. And now that his son Isaac is born to him, he has forsaken you. He has made a great feast for all the inhabitants of the land, and Yahweh he has forgotten. I am going to have to stop here and conclude this particular lesson in our next session next week. If you've enjoyed what you're listening to and you're getting some information, you can make a donation to First Tabernacle Fellowship by scanning the QR code that you see visible before you. We'd be so happy and appreciative to get your donation. Yevarekaka, Yahweh v'ishmereka, Ya'er, Yahweh panavaleka, Vekanuka, Yahweh Yasa, Yahweh panavaleka v'yasam laka shalom. May Yahweh bless you and keep you. May Yahweh make his face to shine on you and show you his favor. May Yahweh lift up his face toward you and give you shalom.